Okay. Hello, everybody. Let me just get all of this working. We're here with Termageddon today. And for those of you watching the recording, welcome. We're happy to have you here. Go ahead and share my screen. Okay. So hi, everyone. I'm Emily. I am the marketing coordinator here at GoWP. I'd like to welcome everyone here today for this webinar with Hans and Donata from Termageddon. As part of the GoWP community, I assume a lot, if not all of you, are agency professionals. So if you don't mind, why don't we go ahead and you guys can let me know in the chat if I'm on target with that assumption or not. And if you're not an agency professional who works with WordPress websites, I'd love to know what it is you do and you know how we can help you out in this community. So with this community, it's my goal to provide you all with great content that can help you grow your agency. One of the most effective ways to grow your agency is by establishing that nice, solid, recurring revenue baseline so that you're able to spend time strategizing and improving your services and not worrying about paying the bills each month. So yeah, I'm sure just the mention of the feast or famine cycle that's so common in this business is enough to get some of y'all's pulses racing. And the team of happiness engineers here at GoWP helps do this by providing exceptional maintenance and support for your clients. Some of you watching are already GoWP customers, so you know the benefits of leveraging a white label team to take care of the low value, high touch work of maintenance and support. And many of you aren't, and that's fine. What we do is partner with agencies by taking that high touch, low value work that disrupts your day, things like plugin updates, secure backups, security scans, malware cleanup, and of course the endless content updates requested by your clients day in and day out. We do all of that under your brand, and this way you have time to focus on the low touch, high value work that helps your agency grow. So if you have any questions about partnering with GoWP and how we can help your agency, you can throw them up in the chat, or you can feel free to email me, emily@gowp.com. So I'm also excited to announce today that we are launching our Facebook group, GoWP Niche Agency Owners. So we're actually broadcasting this webinar live in the group now, and it will be available afterward to watch there as well. So go check it out, request to join. It's www.facebook.com/groups/niche agency owners. You can also just find it through the GoWP Facebook page as well, linked on that left menu. So the Facebook group, that's also, you know, it's a community of agency professionals who either already serve a niche market or would like to niche down. And we all have that same common goal in mind of growth. So don't be shy, ask a question when you have one, and help others when you have insights from your own experiences, because we're all in this together and we're all here to learn and grow. So I'm really excited to have fun with that group and get lots of great engagement going. So I hope you'll join us there. Anyway, let's get to Termageddon, because that's why we're here today. Hans and Donata are co-founders of Termageddon. Termageddon is a generator of policies for websites and applications. So when the law changes, so do the policies, keeping your company protected and allowing you to focus on more important things, which sounds familiar, of course, because that's what this community is all about: taking work off your plate, increasing your recurring revenue, and giving you time to focus on the important stuff. So before starting Termageddon, Hans ran a 12-person web design agency in downtown Chicago for 7 years, and he sold it in March of 2019 to focus all of his attention on Termageddon. Donata is the president of Termageddon and the engineer behind the policy questions and text. She's a licensed attorney and a certified information privacy professional. So she holds courses at the Illinois State Bar Association about general data protection regulation, where she teaches other attorneys on privacy policies, on what privacy policies should contain. So I'm going to throw it over to you guys now. I don't know if I missed anything or make sure I didn't misrepresent Termageddon in any way. So take it away, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, we're actually 3 slides deep now that we have the intros out of the way, so that's great.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. I stole your thunder there.
Thank you, Emily, for that awesome introduction. We're, the co-founders of Termageddon. We try to make privacy policies accessible and easy to read and something that helps everybody out while also helping agencies make recurring revenue with our program. We're actually based out of Chicago, so it'd be cool to see where all the other attendants are based out of. And we work from home. So I apologize in advance for any husky howling or storm sounds that might come around.
Awesome. My name is Hans. I'm the vice president. And as Emily said, I ran a web agency myself for 7 years and successfully sold it earlier this year to focus all my attention on Termageddon or Termageddon if you feel so saucy. If it sounds good with you, Emily, we'll turn off video and turn on the presentation deck we put together here to talk about what data privacy is, what web agencies need to know about data privacy, and if interested, what they can do with Termageddon.
Perfect. Yeah, just a shout out to Beth, who's from Greensboro, North Carolina. We got a.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Our favorite beekeeper is from North Carolina, actually.
Yeah.
Look at that.
We take care of bees in our spare time. So
yeah,
that's awesome. All right. Yeah, I'll go ahead and turn off my video as well, and you guys can start the presentation.
Cool.
Great. Perfect.
All right. So hopefully I don't screw this up. All right. So stop video. All right.
You need to share screen.
Share screen. Oh, share. I'm almost there, everyone. Hold tight. Okay.
And then do present.
And present.
It all looks great.
Awesome. Good.
So today we're going to be talking about, the importance of privacy policies and how can they increase your recurring revenue as an agency owner.
And then we probably will skip by the introductions if that sounds good.
Yeah, I think we can do that now.
So we're people, we exist. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so we'll kind of talk about a couple things in this webinar that we think are important for agency owners to know. So what websites need a privacy policy, why you should talk to your clients about privacy policies and how they can help protect your agency, how to make recurring revenue by telling your clients about privacy policies, and then some sales tools that can help you out on educating your clients about these topics. So first, we should probably talk about what websites need a privacy policy. Privacy policies are something that's kind of new in the industry, but at the same time old. It seems like 5 years ago, not a lot of people cared about privacy policies. Not a lot of consumers were looking for privacy policies or what companies did with their data. It was kind of just the wild west of everything. And even with all the laws that are being passed and proposed right now, it can get kind of confusing about what website needs a privacy policy and to figure out, like, does this client need one? Does my other client need one? But basically the best rule of thumb to kind of keep in mind is any website that has a contact form collects personally identifiable information. So personally identifiable information is, basically any data that could identify an individual. So for example, somebody's name, phone number, email address, and then physical address. There's a lot of debate right now as to what PII really is, because some people define it as any data that even relates to an identifiable individual. So, if you know that my name is Donata and that I own a Jeep, according to some laws, the fact that I own a Jeep is also personally identifiable information. But in reality, what you really need to know and what's the most important is name, phone number, email address, and physical address, or any of those things. So why does the collection of personal information matter, right? So privacy laws regulate the collection and use of PII. So basically, privacy laws want to make sure that consumers' personal information is protected, that it's safe, that it's not shared with people it's not supposed to be shared with, that, you're not using it for, horrible things such as spam, and all of that. So basically, if your website collects personal information, let's say you have a contact form and an email newsletter form that you build onto a website for one of your clients, that website collects PII. So basically, privacy laws require those websites to disclose certain things to the user. So what personal information is collected, what is done with that personal information, and who that personal information is shared with. So basically, privacy laws require you to tell certain things to consumers about what's done with personal information on that website. Now, where would you tell consumers about this? You would tell them in the privacy policy. And a privacy policy basically discloses all those things to the consumer, and make sure that the consumer is fully informed about what's happening.
Can I jump in there real quick?
Yeah, sorry.
So who is the PII is shared with? For that particular bullet point, a lot of people don't realize that, your client, your business client has to inform you of that information. So after a contact form is submitted and now the company has received that personally identifiable information, what systems do they share with, for example, like a sales CRM, for example, with MailChimp, or another tool to send out email marketing? These are things you need to disclose that you share this PII with, because those third-party systems might have their own policies in place.
Exactly. So then what laws protect personal information? So right now there's 4 laws that are in place that protect the collection of private information on websites. We're not including things like HIPAA in here. This would apply to, regular websites for businesses, like informational websites. So the first one would be the General Data Protection Regulation, and that's the European Union law that most people have probably heard of, and it applies to companies that are located in and do business in the European Union. But if you're located in the United States, that doesn't mean that GDPR doesn't apply to you. So GDPR would apply to you if you collect and process the data of European Union subjects. So for example, if you are providing website development services all over the world, you would need to have a privacy policy that complies with GDPR. The second one will be California Online Privacy Protection Act of 2003, or referred to as CalOPA, and that one applies to any website that collects the personal information of California residents. The California Consumer Privacy Act goes into effect January 1st, 2020, and that's kind of the really big one in the United States. And again, it does apply to businesses located in California, but it also applies to businesses that are not located in California if you collect the personal information of California residents. Now that one may not apply to really small businesses. It has a revenue cap. It has the, if you sell the personal data of 50,000 or more Californian consumers, that's when it would apply to you. And then lastly, we have the Nevada Revised Statutes, Chapter 603A, which sounds kind of ugly. I feel like they should have come up with a more catchy name for that. But, that one applies to businesses located in Nevada. But then it also applies to businesses targeting Nevada consumers or consummating transactions with Nevada consumers, or people who advertise their services in Nevada, things like that. Now, a lot of people might be thinking, okay, I'm not located in the EU. I'm not located in California. I'm not located in Nevada. I'm fine. I don't need any of this. Sign out right now, leave webinar. No, a lot of these laws apply to businesses outside of those states too. So if you're not located in the EU, California, or Nevada, does not mean that the law doesn't apply to you or to your clients. What these laws are trying to protect is the consumers of that particular state. So that state doesn't really care where your business is located. It cares where its residents go online. And whoever uses Google here, which I'm pretty sure is absolutely everyone, you don't go on a website to search, you know, what do you even, come up with a good example here.
When you go to Google, you're not doing a search and then only thinking to yourself, I'm only going to visit websites within my state. Consumers go to Google and they visit websites that service their search needs, whatever their need may be. So that's why this is so important, because data privacy, it's these individual laws, but it's to protect the citizens, but businesses go across state lines nowadays. And that's why this protection is so important.
Exactly. And for something like GDPR, you don't even need to sell something at a certain cost. You could be providing free resources and free information. So that's what's important to keep in mind here too. Now there's—
Sorry, Donata.
Yeah.
We just had a question, just sorry to interrupt, but regarding that issue. So can you speak kind of specifically to monitoring laws outside the US and EU? John Francois asked, how would you handle sites located in other countries like Canada?
We actually are about to jump into that
Perfect.
with the upcoming laws. Is that
Well,
fair?
those would be U.S. state laws.
Okay, so
yeah.
maybe you could address this question.
So right now we're not compatible with Canada or businesses really located outside of the U.S. So our privacy policies are compliant with GDPR. But right now we're just not compatible with businesses outside of the US. Now that's something that we would want to bring in later on down the road. But we're really trying to have a great focus on laws in the US, because there's so many states that are passing passing bills and proposing bills and things like that. So not the best answer, but we do hope that we can bring that in the future.
Yeah, it's also pretty straightforward. We started Termageddon before GDPR even existed, just because Donata and I wanted to. I was telling her my problems as an agency owner, and she was telling me how she feels like she's charging too much to create privacy policies for her clients. So, we created Termageddon before GDPR even existed, but, we went full time earlier this year. We had no idea how many registrations we'd be getting from web agencies in Canada, the UK, Australia. So I'm actually inviting all of them to still consider registering, just because we'll notify you the moment we deploy compatibility. And by the word compatibility, what it basically means is that when you're filling out the form currently, it asks what state you're located in, what county you're located in, what type of corporation you have. These are all US-based questions. Very soon we'll be able to ask the questions that pertain to that particular location, so that agencies around the world can even add our policies as well.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay. So there's a lot of penalties for not complying with privacy laws, and those penalties kind of have a different range based on what state you're in or what country you're in. So the penalties range from $2,500 per violation. Per violation means per website visitor, to 20 million euros for failure to comply with GDPR. And more states are proposing privacy bills as well. And on our website, we have a privacy law tracker where we keep track of all of the states that have proposed bills and what stage they're at. So right now, there's about 10 states that have proposed privacy bills, including Illinois, which is where we're located in, which should be interesting to see how that works. And you can see that all of those bills would require changes to what a privacy policy discloses, which means that could end up being a lot of changes to your privacy policies or to your client's privacy policies. I'm actually the one who keeps track of all of these state bills, and I have to say it's a lot. It's my full-time job, and it is a full-time job to keep track of all of this and exactly what they mean and exactly what they require and how they change privacy policies. And I'm sure that, most people would not be interested in doing this because it's time consuming and can be quite confusing at times as to what the legislature means. But yeah, so we could track of all that for you. So if you're ever interested in seeing that, just go on our site, and we have our privacy bill tracker, both state and federal.
Within our blog.
Yeah, within our blog. So Hans, you want to take it away on why people should educate their clients about this and protect their agencies?
Yes, I would like to. So if you are like me, back when I was running my web agency, this is how I felt about data privacy. It stressed me out. I didn't like it, and I always wanted to pretend like it didn't exist. Although I'm out of the game, I'm imagining there's quite a few listeners that are still in the game. You're more than welcome to reach out to me anyways, anytime, talk about what it's like running an agency. I'm sure I could share war stories and success stories with you. But you know, I can't stress this enough. I've come to realize just how easy this conversation can be with clients. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reiterate kind of what Donata said, but just give you very high level. It's pretty simple. Two things. Whenever you're building a website with a contact form, that's your opportunity as an agency owner to say, hey, I'm helping you collect what's called personally identifiable information. And I'm going to suggest that you get a privacy policy. Data privacy is becoming more and more important over time, not less important. And that's why I think you should suggest it to your clients. Not to mention you get it documented that you stated to that client that you suggested they get one. Let the business owner decide if they actually want one or not. But that way you show off that credibility, knowing that you're just beyond a web designer. You know a little bit about everything in this space. And if clients have questions, connect them with us. We're happy to answer any questions they may have. So the other fact I really want to share is GDPR as it relates to Europe and the privacy laws as they come into America. So GDPR, in the grand scheme of things now, is being looked at as kind of a pretty cool thing. One set of rules to protect all European citizens. Businesses that are targeting European citizens have to abide to these one set of rules. Pretty sweet, actually, because in America, the exact opposite's happening. Each and every state's implementing their own set of privacy laws to protect just their citizens. Well, citizens, as we discussed earlier, visit way more websites than what's just located in their state. So for businesses to be compliant when targeting American citizens, they're going to have to be compliant with all these different privacy laws. And that's what Termageddon removes the burden from. Rather than basically putting an attorney on payroll, you can sign up with Termageddon. Clients pay $100 a year, and we automatically update and notify them when changes are being made. So why tell clients? It makes you look proactive and professional rather than reactive. I know that was a major challenge we had when running my web agency. It felt like, man, there's so many reactive things we can do. Now's the time to be proactive about it and get the message out. Improving client retention and loyalty. I don't know if anyone's rolling their eyes right now, but my thought here is that, whenever a client has a question or you provide little insights like this, that speaks volumes to the client because it builds trust. And as for standing above your competition, I always think, like, in this day and age, who would a web prospect look for to work with? The web agency that's talking about the importance of data privacy, or the web agency that's oblivious to it? I think even if the business doesn't choose to go with having a privacy policy, I think it makes web agencies that discuss it more knowledgeable and come off more trustworthy to work with. And then lastly, I think I mentioned this earlier, documentation, so that you have it documented that you told your clients the importance of this stuff, so they can never come back to you. Yeah. Oh, wow. There's my slide discussing what I literally just said. So let's just keep moving. So when to tell clients about privacy policies, I'm seeing a lot of agencies choose one of three routes. Quoting it in a new project. I think this is all pretty self-explanatory. Prior to launch, let's be real, that's kind of where I landed when running my web agency. Prior to launch is, 3 days before you go to site launch, the client asks, what should I do for a privacy policy? Well, here now you have a solution. And then in maintenance plans, we have a lot of agencies implementing this into their care plans and adding value, recurring monthly value to that plan.
Yeah, and I think as somebody who used to write privacy policies for clients all the time as a lawyer, if you tell your client like 2 days before launch, and they contact their lawyer, I don't know about you, but as a lawyer myself, I would take like a week to do it because, I have a lot of other clients, I have a lot of stuff going on. So that kind of thing can really delay your project too, or delay your launch. So it's probably best to do it like when you're quoting a new project, or at least a week before launch, so that, your client has the time to find a solution that's fast and easy to do it, so you don't miss the launch date.
Side note, law firms are our second biggest industry. I would have never guessed that in a million years. But after talking to one of them, I asked him, I was like, why are you setting up a privacy policy with Termageddon? He's like, look, I'm an IP attorney. I know this data privacy is important, but I have no idea where to even start with it. It's like, I signed up with your product, looked at your end product, and I liked the work. So yeah, I like the product. Nice work. All right. So I think this is probably why most people are listening in on this call, although we do feel like it's very important to educate everyone on this, how to make recurring revenue by teaching your clients about privacy policies. So you can protect, okay, let's see what I wrote here. You can protect your clients and make recurring revenue with Termageddon, yes. So Termageddon, we are a privacy policy generator. We automatically update our client policies whenever the laws change. For the record, each and every license is $100 a year. We don't do any upselling. We don't try to stick people. And a license covers not just a privacy policy, but an auto-updating terms and conditions, as well as a disclaimer. Every now and then people use an end user license agreement, which we also include, but that one license covers all those policies.
Yeah, and the way we work with web agencies is we actually give web agencies a free set of policies. So you can, check out our product, check out our system, get your own website protected, and that way it's easier for you to understand what it is and how easy it is to set up. And then we provide you with recurring commissions if you refer us to your clients.
Yeah. So just to reiterate it, you can go to termageddon.com, click register, and register with your agency email address. We will then issue you a free license for your own agency in the hopes that you like it. If you do like it, we give you the ability to resell our product, where you can buy at wholesale and sell at retail. We also give you the ability to refer our product, where we give you a promo code, giving your client a month off, and you get recurring paychecks from us. So with the referral program, there's actually zero out-of-pocket expenses. We actually send you a check every single time the client renews for life. Oh, I'm like one slide ahead in all of these things. So yes, these are the things we offer with one license. All right, so we're gonna go. We do have a few questions, Emily. I can't see the chat box, but are there any that need to get answered?
Yeah, we do actually have a couple questions. The first one is if you guys could share an example of a website maintenance plan kind of thing that includes Termageddon as a part of it. Like how have you seen that done, I guess?
So the way I've seen it done is that there's a lot of discussion about something called a care plan. This was something I was not familiar with when running my agency, but I certainly was focused on adding as much value to my maintenance plans as possible for my clients, obviously so I can make more recurring revenue and I could provide better service to my client base. So maintenance plans, as I've seen in the past, they include obviously hosting, support, some sort of support relationship, plugin updates, theme updates, all that jazz. It sounds like GoWP also does quite a bit of this, which is awesome because they white label and then you can just add, your fee on top. I've also seen agencies, well, I myself would buy licenses with like systems like Gravity Forms. I'd buy like big package license there and then implement those into all my clients and share the fact that, we have all these licenses that we put into your site and this maintenance plan covers it. So Termageddon would be another good example of saying, hey, in addition to, Gravity Forms, auto updating, your plugin with new, better features, Termageddon will automatically update your privacy policies and terms and conditions, limiting your liability and helping you stay protected with all these new data privacy laws. And with agencies being able to buy at wholesale, you'll be able to get it far cheaper than the $10 a month or $100 a year rate we offer to our end clients.
Right. So
right. Yeah. Oops, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Donata.
It's okay. So you can, either absorb the cost, and let's say you have $100 a month for your maintenance packages. You can add Termageddon and then absorb the cost if that's what you want to do. Just add more value to your maintenance plan, and include us in that $100 cost. Or you can have it as an additional add-on. So like increase the price of the maintenance plan, upsell our services, and, make recurring revenue that way. And we do have some sales tools as well that we'll talk about later too.
Yeah, and just if I can interject, speaking from GoWP, which is, we help agencies sell care plans and that sort of thing. Because you're able to white label it, you're getting all of the services that we provide, the plugin updates, the security, malware cleanups, all of that kind of stuff. And it's white labeled. So you can take that and sell it as you want to the end client. So you can include the Termageddon policy updates on top of that plan, and you're slapping whatever price you want on it. So yeah, it's kind of.
I love that vision. As an agency owner, having an asset like GoWP would have, allowed me to rethink my strategy even around hiring staff for supporting the maintenance updates, which come in waves, really more than come in a trickle effect. So I think that's a wonderful program. And that's very similar to our outlook, which is, after you embed so with Termageddon, you embed a code rather than copying and pasting content onto the privacy policy page. And that code is what allows us to push updates automatically to the privacy policy. So, we firmly believe in giving web agencies a true set it and forget it solution. And time again, agencies, the moment they get their free install and add it to their site, they're like, oh my gosh, I never have to update my privacy policy again. I'm like, correct. Like that's like exactly why it's real recurring revenue with a set it, forget it program. So
that's awesome.
Emily, any other questions right now?
Yes, we did have, I think 2 more here. So the other one is if you have customized privacy policies for different types of business. For example, the asker says like an attorney versus an e-commerce site.
Yeah, exactly. So the way that our system works, and we can actually go through that here too, is when you log in and you start creating your policies, you're asked a few different questions about exactly what you're doing on your website. So for example, one of the questions is, do you sell things on your website? For the terms of service, or for the disclaimer, do you provide any advice on your website that may be seen as legal advice? And if you click yes to those, different language is inserted into your policies to make sure that it fits exactly what your website does.
And I think one of the fundamental things that I find myself teaching agencies is that a lot of agencies feel like a privacy policy has to be completely different for one industry versus another. Now, there are some industries that I can address shortly here, but for the mass majority of it, basically everyone except HIPAA and websites that are targeting children under the ages of 13, every other business, which is the mass majority, privacy policies are all about telling the consumer what happens with the data that business is collecting and how they use that data. And that's why there's so much similarities amongst different businesses that might be in completely different industries, because it all comes down to the data that they're collecting and how they're using that and with whom they're sharing it with.
Awesome. I think that's really useful information. And the last question is just if you have any plans for other languages than English, like French, for example.
For sure. We have had a few agencies that have registered in Portugal, France, and Germany. So just full transparency, we are wanting to launch UK, Canada, and Australia next. And then adding additional languages will be done, but it's going to be done in 2019 or 2020.
Awesome. I hope that answered, I believe, all the questions we have at the moment. So,
sorry,
the dogs are awake. So if you guys have any other questions, or if you have any follow-up questions to those answers, that's what the chat is for. So throw them up in there, and I'm watching it, so I will be asking. I can ask any questions that you guys have to Hans and Donata when they come up.
Great. And what I can do is I can actually take everyone through like kind of a screenshot demo here, just kind of showing the agency dashboard and kind of hopefully eliminating a lot of the stresses of, oh, this is going to take so long. So this is the agency dashboard. Let me see. There we go. And as you can see, every single row is where each license is added. It's very much built for web agencies to very quickly see what kind of level access they have and if the license or aka install is set up ready to go. That button right there is how you add a new license. That's to protect one business, one website or application. And over here is how many licenses you have in your account at any given time and how many are being used. So when you add a license, what you're brought to is your license dashboard. The very first thing you answer is a set of global install information questions, which, as you can see, we just kind of filled this out at the last second. And those set of global questions, when answered, allow us to automatically add them into all the policies below. So that gray add policy box is where you can add additional items like privacy policy, terms and conditions, aka terms of service, end user license agreements, and disclaimers. Over here on the left-hand side, and I'm so happy I have an audience right now who are web agency owners, because I keep forgetting to tell my web agency partners about this very important feature. It's the users. This is, especially for the web agencies that want to buy at wholesale and sell at retail, or they want to integrate in their maintenance plans. Go ahead and click users, and then what you can do is you can share the license with your end client. This means that we will push them the updates, notifying them of when changes are being made to the laws and how we've taken care of them. This is what allows you to have that true set it and forget it solution, because by sharing this license with them, they get notified of all the changes, and now you're just taking in the recurring revenues. So this is just a screenshot of the first part of adding a privacy policy. It's a 2 questions, and basically it's like five. I think you click the next button 4 or 5 times. So it's a very quick process. If you do answer yes to the I'll point out this first. I have a question mark icons next to a lot of the times clients or agencies will have questions around things. So we are always improving the app, adding like little hover effects, helping you understand better like what is going on with that particular question. This particular question down here, do you process data from people located in the European Union? If you answer yes to this, you get a whole different set of questions that are also asked. And then, you just click next until ultimately you click submit, which then brings you to your embed code. Up top, you can see in the tabs, there's a view policy, the edit details, the override policy, which I can talk about, as well as the view embed code. But this is the most important thing. This is a JavaScript embed that you paste right onto the privacy policy page, and then you hyperlink the privacy policy page in the footer. This is what allows us to push updates automatically to the particular page that you embedded on. All right, so that's kind of a quick demo of how it all works. And time again, we've been told like, wow, that was way easier than I thought it was going to be, which is really nice. So the other thing I've really been helping agencies out with is helping them educate their clients, especially their past clients. A lot of agencies are like, I want to get the documentation out, telling my past clients, hey, here are the new upcoming laws. I think you should get a privacy policy. So what I've done is I created a web page down here, termageddon.com/selling, which is actually technically only for the web agencies that register with us. But now I guess I've exposed it to the outer world. You're more than welcome to take a look at it. One document in particular that I like is a step-by-step instruction on how to send a pre-written email sequence to your client base, informing them of the importance of privacy policies, telling them like, I even use Termageddon on my own website, and I think you should consider using Termageddon or hiring an attorney. Let me know which one you want to do. Clients will respond like they have with all the other agencies I've done this with, and you'll see about 20 to 40% of your clients sign up if you do a reseller option or referral option. And agencies charge like $100 setup fee to copy and paste the embed codes. That actually is not that has not slowed down the conversion rates at all. So, roughly speaking, if you have, 40 clients, you should see probably 15 of them sign up. So by setting up this email sequence tool that takes all but 30 minutes, you'll see $1,500 in setup fees, as well as the recurring revenues that you'll be making every single month or year, or however you set it up from there on out.
Maybe you should talk a little bit about the setup fees, because I see a lot of our agencies doing that.
Yeah,
I think that's something that might be of interest.
Yeah, I'm very guilty running my web agency. I've always wanted to just help people out and get hook my clients up with free stuff, and that can bite anyone in the butt. And if you're just starting your agency, please hear me out when I say charge for your time. always charge for your time. The fact is you're spending a lot of time right now learning about data privacy where you could be doing other things. So I strongly always suggest, just in general, charging for your time. And Termageddon is a great option to do it as well. Charge an hour of your time, $100 or so, to implement the policies onto their website. Yes, it's copying and pasting an embed code, but the fact is you spend a lot of time researching and finding the right tool for your business. Is that good?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Oh, sweet. So yeah, we, if you're already on Termageddon.com, you'll notice an agency partners page. That's kind of where we discuss the values of working with Termageddon and give people the ability to apply as an agency partner. If you run a web agency and you've gotten this far into this presentation, just go to app.termageddon.com and register, and we'll be sure to issue you access within the next hour. You'll get a free set of our policies for your own web agency, and we certainly hope you like it and want to refer it to your clients. Your clients get protected, you get recurring revenue, and we make money so we can pay our barking dogs. So everyone wins. So yeah, I think that's a good outline of everything. Here are some links. You're more than welcome to email me regarding Termageddon or agency stuff.
Or you can email me to talk about the privacy laws, which I'm sure will be absolutely no one.
Oh, your inbox will be blowing up.
Yeah, right. But yeah, and follow us, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of that. So Emily, what about we just turn our video back on and take some questions? Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great. I was going to suggest the same thing.
Awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was a really fantastic presentation, guys. I think the service that you guys are doing is something that maybe a lot of people didn't even realize was an option for them. And I think you hit on a lot of valid pain points and inconveniences and things like that that our agency owners are running into in their business. So if we have any more questions, you guys can throw them up in the chat. We've got some time to take them. And if not,
I actually
thanks, Chris.
Just saw on
and Alex.
Alex is one of my clients.
There we go.
I don't know. Are you allowed to say that?
Got IT Digital, and they're awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool that he decided to join this.
That's cool.
I had no idea.
Great.
I knew about this.
Fantastic. And just a reminder to everybody that this recording will be in our Facebook group, which was Niche Agency Owners. So you can check it out there and request to join and engage over there. I'll also be sending out the recording tomorrow or the next day, over the next couple of days, so you can watch your inbox for that as well.
Awesome.
And it doesn't look like we have any questions from the attendees today.
I'd imagine no one wants to jump in on data privacy stuff. You guys can ask anything you want.
Dog's always barking.
Yeah, right.
What happened to the barking dogs?
Yeah, right. Why is she quiet now?
Yeah.
Why are you located in a space shuttle?
I mean, that's a valid question.
Yeah, it's one of Hans's side projects that I got absolutely, brought into against my will.
So I had this grand vision for like webinars that we would like stop mid webinar and like I would be like, oh wait, a new registration, and I would like stop mid interview and like start pushing these buttons and stuff, like flipping switches, and then like the monitor would turn on with like code running, and I would say that Termageddon's powered by this thing, like.
Yeah,
I love that.
Get all up to electricity.
Yeah,
and
after
we're just like, whatever, it's fine.
It's a nice backdrop, but that's all it is right now. One day.
Well, we'll schedule another webinar for 2 months from now.
Nice.
And expect that to be working. So
I want to get it like smoking too, like. Oh wait, another update to the policy, and the thing just smoking.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, as you guys can see, in planning this webinar and everything, it's been a lot of fun working with Hans and Donata. So. Great folks.
Awesome.
And so I guess that's it. We can go ahead and sign off. And thank you, Hans and Donata, for an awesome presentation. I think it was really informative for everybody.
Awesome.
Thank you for having us.
Yep. And just so you guys know, when I end this call, it's just going to go to black. So thank you so much for collaborating with us. And it's been a pleasure having you on our webinar.
Thanks, Beth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys. Bye. Thanks everybody for attending.